Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Best podcast going around worldwide. Kick it to Scoop, and I am Cooper. Hello everyone and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host Cooper Gretsch, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. And I've got a very loaded show for you guys today. We've got the world famous segment Scoops Goes Bang. We've got my team of the week, Supercoach talk, my rolling All-Australian team, my Scoops medal. As I said, Supercoach talk. We've got so much. We're going to start off with this and I'm going to mention right at the top who the next big guest here on Kick It to Scoops will be. And your full details you'll sign in a sec. But first, you want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast your friend? Do you want me to wish someone a happy birthday and marriage? Want me to lift someone's spirits up? Want to talk about the AFL, cricket, wrestling, whatever it is? Send it through to cameo.com. And if you're respectable with your questions and comments and requests, that will be fulfilled. And merch, there's t-shirts, there's stickers, there's stubby holders, there's hats, the whole shebang is on there. Go and get yours today. You see on the screen some of the items you can get. You can get the Scoops original t-shirt. You can get your Scoops Goes Bang You a block t-shirt. The Supercoach top where I was ranked number 1. Just remember that in round 5. That was a great round in Supercoach. This hat, sticker stuff. I would greatly appreciate if you can purchase some merch. Just show some support for me. Helps build the channel a lot. Get more people out there. And if you do wear my merch, please send them out. Send me a message. I may make it as a post. If you want to be on a post wearing my gear, please send it through. And I'll put it on my page and show the faithful that you do support me, and I really do appreciate that. But normally I start off with the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. But I'm going to start with the big announcement. The next guest on Kick It Scoops you'll see tomorrow night at 7 p.m. You won't believe me, but you can see the screen grab on the Facebook post and on Instagram at AFL Info Live. But you'll see it on the screen right now, and that is the next guest right here on Kick It Scoops, big name AFL player agent from Connor Sports Management, Nick Gieschen. He manages Pat Lipinski, Dan McStay, who's a free agent, Clayton Oliver, Tom Barras, Aidan Core, Alex Witherden. The list goes on and on and on. A lot of clients he has at Connor Sports Management. So that interview will be out tomorrow, and I ask the hard-hitting questions. He does reveal Dan McStay's status and whether he wants to stay at the Lions or not. Clayton Oliver, who's out of contract at the end of next year, whether he wants to stay a Demon for life. Pat Lipinski, he goes through outside of Collingwood what clubs are interested in. One club in particular were very, very interested in Pat and wanted to secure him, but Collingwood were the club he chose in the end. Now, that and many, many more. We asked about the mid-season trade period, whether he wants to see a mid-season trade period introduced in the AFL from next season. We go through that as well, and so many more of his clients. So I hope you guys can tune in for that. Now let's start off with that world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang! Boom. Oh, Bailey Smith, Zach Tui, and Tom Liberatore. Plain and simple, guys. What Bailey Smith did now, I noticed today he's apologised and said it was out of character. Well, he kind of had to say that, didn't he? But yes, nonetheless, he's apologised. And after the game, he shook hands with Zach Tui. Now, in the grand scheme of things, the 2-week ban itself is utterly ridiculous. The AFL need to make a statement. They need to say, Bailey, not only is that unacceptable, it's stupid, it's dumb, it's uncharacteristic. It's not something that we want to, tolerate, and it should be more than 2 weeks. Now, in comparison, I know incidents are graded differently, but when you think about it for a minute. Paddy Ryder got a 2-week ban for bracing for contact against Will Day. Now, obviously, Will Day got concussed, and that was unfortunate. But that was 2 weeks. So you're essentially saying the suspension length was the exact same as what Bailey Smith intentionally headbutted Zach Tui? Are you kidding me? That was 2 weeks what Paddy Ryder did? And Bailey Smith got the exact same when Bailey Smith intentionally headbutted Zach Tui. Now, Zach Tui's not out of the water here either. Now, seeing it live, I made a post saying that what Bailey Smith did was stupid and it was dumb, and he'll rightfully cop a suspension, which he did 2 weeks. But it should have been more than 2 weeks. How that's suspension length is the same as what Paddy Ryder did is utterly ridiculous. That's one of many examples. How that's 2 weeks. So Bailey Smith, if Ryder was 2, which is ridiculous in his own right, made a separate clip about that a while ago when that happened. How Bailey Smith got only 2 weeks for a headbutt? That should have been at least 4. I'm sorry. That had to be at least 4. It's something they've got to stamp out and say, you do rubbish like this and you're going to pay the ultimate price. Wasn't a king here. There was nothing like that. It should have been at least 4 weeks. It's not a vendetta against the Bulldogs or Bailey Smith. It's an example that I just gave a comparison. How that was the same suspension length as what Ryder did. Please. Utterly pathetic. Zach Tui, you're not in the limelight yet, man. Or fella. Yes, that's a gag. That's just a joke. Fella. Seamus. Very restless as Seamus. He's Irish too. Yeah. Anyway, Zach. Now, unbelievable. I thought, whoa, Bailey Smith, you're in deep stride for what you did to Tui. But then I've gone to see replays, slow motion replays, and replays in general. Zach Tui, how he only got fined $1,000 was utterly ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying he should have got 4 weeks or 3 weeks or anything like that. He should have been given a week also, because he started this argument, physical contact argument. He put his head against Bailey Smith and pushed his head like that. Didn't headbutt him. He had his head against Bailey Smith's head and pushed him with his head on Bailey Smith, which then Bailey Smith retaliated. So Zach Tui is no angel in this also. He shall have copped a week as well. But, well, not as well, because Smith got 2. Bailey Smith should have had 4 weeks, and Zach Tui should have had at least 1, maybe 2 weeks. To the AFL, you had to make an example out of this, and again, you did not. To the AFL, to Zach Tui, to Bailey Smith, and oh yeah, that's right, Liberatore. Tough hacks hitting behind play. It's that's something again that needs to be stamped out as well. I'm not saying weeks, but fines should be out for, and proper fines, not $1,000. $1,000 is nothing to them. $10,000, $15,000 fines it should be for someone that comes into a melee, tries to punch someone, or not punch someone, or knock someone down behind play when they got their back turned. It's not tough, Tom. It ain't tough. It is weak. It's gutless. Would you do that if Tui had his back not turned? I doubt it. And if you did, it wouldn't have been to the lengths you tried to do. So Tom Liberatore, Tom Liberatore, Bailey Smith, Zach Tui, the AFL, lift your game! Utterly, utterly pathetic. And to Zach, to Bailey, and Tom, AFL, you should have a look at that and say, that example should be made of, and you didn't, so that is pathetic. Lift your game! That is the edition of Scoops Goes Bang, the world-famous segment. Oh, you better believe it is. 5% of my viewers are from the United States of America. Don't know that. My analytics say so. If you go watch it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, the analytics say so. Not because Stone Cold said so, because Cooper said so. Now, we'll move on to, what are we going to go through now? We're going to go review round 12. Round 12. It was a shorter round the first week of the bye rounds. God, I hate the bye rounds. Don't we hate the bye rounds? St Kilda, Port Adelaide, Essendon, Carlton, GWS, and there was one other club that escapes me off the top of my head. All had the bye. Boring bye. Yeah, Carlton had the bye too. So, yeah, it was utterly boring. But Saints will play this weekend against the Lions in a huge clash at the Gabba Saturday night. We'll get to that later. The Bulldogs and Geelong, the clash itself, I was just talking about the incident, but the match itself, Geelong by 13 points, 83 defeated the Western Bulldogs 70. Geelong were without Tom Stewart after the first quarter with concussion. We thought, well, they're going to get exposed here and Bulldogs should run away despite being 5 goals down. Bulldogs came back and I thought, yep, that is going to happen. No Tom Stewart, no Geelong, like potentially Melbourne. No May, no Melbourne. May that be the case with Melbourne? Can't say the excuse that Nam lost now because it was Melbourne. And Nam is Melbourne. Anyway, Geelong, 13-point victory over the Bulldogs. Jeremy Cameron was the difference, the sole difference in this match. Had it not been for him, this result would not have been in the Geelong Cats' favour. It would simply been in the Dogs' favour. Bailey Smith was well held too by Mark O'Connor. McRae was good. Josh Dunkley, Adam Treloar. But in the end, Jeremy Cameron was a solid difference for Geelong, and Sam De Koning did a solid job on Aaron Norton. Geelong win by 13 points heading into their bye. The Saturday clash. So Tom Stewart won't miss a game, technically, unless something bad happens with his concussion symptoms. Because of the bye, so he'll pass the 12-day mandatory concussion protocol, so he'll play their following clash. Saturday, at the Adelaide Oval, 88 for the Crows, defeated the Eagles by 31 points. Eagles 57, Crows 88. Look at the result. You say it's a solid win for Adelaide. I wouldn't be so pleased. Manny Nicks clearly wasn't as impressed. They're up about 5 goals. Yes, it was wet conditions. It was on and off conditions, but it still was wet conditions. May not have been raining the whole game, but it was wet conditions nonetheless. The Crows got out to a 5-goal lead early on, but then the Eagles came back and got close. About 10 points or so, 3 goals margin range, close. Jack Darling played probably his best game. What was that? Anyway. He's been a pretty solid last few weeks. Jack Darling, funny, hey? Tim Kelly was probably one of their best again. Tom Barras was really, really good. The Crows, Rory Laird, Ben Keys. The usual suspects for them were pretty good. Tex, the former skipper Tex, was great also. But Matty Nix won't be too pleased, despite winning over the Eagles. They should have won early. And it was a fun fact. The record was not broken for the most consecutive 50-plus point losses in a row. That streak for, I think, Fitzroy and someone else. And the Giants to hold that equal ladder. So the Eagles did not join them in that list or pass it. So lucky for them. The big result down in Darwin, the Suns, I said they'd win this easily against the Roos, and that they did. 109-47, defeated the Roos by 62 points. The Gold Coast Suns, mixed emotions for them. Unfortunately, Lockie Weller went down with a suspected ACL injury, which Lockie Weller all the best, having a great year. Kicked a goal at 20 possessions. Lockie Weller, unfortunately, will be missed for the Suns. Will Powers play well in that role and play well on the weekend. Oleg Markov will probably get more opportunity now in that position. He's been in and out this year. I know he played on the weekend, but he's been in and out. He may settle into that position, or they may bring in Jack Bowes, who's been playing VFL in the midfield. But as you know, some places play midfield in VFL. Don't play that in AFL. So Jack Bowes may come in for Lockie Weller to play that halfback role, unless they want to stick Markov there and move some positional moves. The Suns were great. No Levi Casbolt, probably back this week. Sam Day kicked 2 in his first game for the year. Approaching 150 career games with Sam Day. The Roos, what can you say? Todd Goldstein was okay. But unfortunately for the Roos, it's a bad year for them. David Noble should not be the one to blame. It should be the playing group. Jaden Stevenson is the one thing I'll say should be back in the side. Should have came in that game. Tristan Cherry set to sign a new deal, but not much alike for the Roos. Suns were awesome, 109-47, 62-point victory. Oh, cheer the red and the white. Melbourne have been defeated day and night the last 2 weeks. Did you like that one? No one. I claim that. That is mine. Copyright. That is me. I said that. Saying that's my saying. Melbourne 61, defeated by the Swannies 73. Melbourne Swans kicked 5 behinds in a row in the first quarter. Melbourne were up by about 4 or 5 goals at quarter time. You're like, Melbourne will keep on going. Well, no, as the commentary said, I thought Sydney are in this. They're just missing reasonable opportunities. Sam Reid was awesome. He has these moments in years gone by and this year where there's good moments. And he was close to best on ground, if not best on ground for the Swans at least, and close to best on ground in the game. He was awesome. Logan McDonald was great. Luke Parker, Isaac Heaney, Chad Warner, Paddy McCartan. There's a lot of great players for the Swannies. Colin Reardon got subbed out straight away with concussion. We wish him all the best. Melbourne, pretty poor. Tom McDonald may miss the rest of the season with a foot ankle injury. The Liz Frank injury has been rumoured about. Having scans today or tomorrow. Max Gorman was clearly the best on ground for Melbourne. 3 goals, 28 possessions, 26 odd hit outs against Peter Adams, who missed Tom Hickey up there in the ruck. Other than that, Clayton Oliver had 31, but it had a lot of them early. Wasn't his best game. It wasn't a bad game. Don't get me wrong. But probably one of his worst 31 possession games he's had. Melbourne losing 2 in a row. Lose to the Dockers, lose to the Swans. They got the Pies on Queen's birthday. Not this Monday, but the following Monday, which, in saying that, I'll probably have the show on next Tuesday night. Nick Gieschen interview those tomorrow night. And the podcast for this Kick It Scoops will be the following Tuesday, not Monday next week. Swannies, cheer the red and the white, back in the mix for the top 4 of those Swans. Sunday games, the Hawks and the Pies. Hawthorn 68, defeated by the Pies in a close win by 72. Collingwood by 4 points, 68 versus 72. Craig McRae up and about other Pies. Pat Lipinski close to BOG. Yes, Jordan DeGoey was good. Darcy Cameron was awesome. Jack Crisp with his crisp disposal was awesome. The Hawks, Mitchell Lewis was pretty good with kicking 4. John Newcomb was solid. Tom Mitchell was solid. But in the end, the Hawks had a good lead early. The Pies had a good lead early. The Hawks, they came back. Normally, they're the side that had the big lead and start to cough it up. They had great wins, the Hawks, this year against the Cats and some other sides, Brisbane in Tassie. The Pies have had some great wins. They beat the Saints. They beat the Dockers. They beat the Hawks. They've had some good wins also, the Pies. They'll be up and about both sides. The ladder mates show that Hawthorn are probably not going to make the game. They're probably not. But there'll be a side, though, that can still cause some damage in that 8 and upset a side here and there. They've done it with Geelong and Brisbane. Why can't they do it with someone else? The Pies are awesome, though. Pat Lipinski, as I said, Darcy Cameron, etc. Mitchell, Tom Mitchell, and Mitchell Lewis for the Hawks were the best. The Dockers, Flag Mantle, Flag Kilda, Flag Lion, Flag Demon. Who is it? It's Flag Mantle. Freo 99 defeated the Brisbane Lions 85. Freo not by 85, sorry. Fremantle 99. Brisbane scored 85. Freo by 14 points. Freo 14-point victory. Now the Dockers have beaten Geelong, Brisbane now, and they've beaten Brisbane and Melbourne and Geelong. The only side in that top 4 range they have not beaten is St Kilda. Yes, the Dockers, that's the Saints. The only side that they haven't beaten in that top 4 range. The Saints beat them in round 2 by a couple of goals. So, yes, the Saints are the side that Freo needs to knock off to complete that top 4 No, it's not a trifecta. 4. I'm not a betting man, so I don't know the saying. So, I'm sure some of you in the comments can sound that off. Like and subscribe to this video. The Dockers, what can I say? Nat 5 playing the waffle yesterday was great to see. Back on the side this week. Probably at the expense of someone like Darcy Tucker. The Dockers were awesome. Griffin Logue was good up forward again, playing a tagging type role on Darcy Gunner before he got subbed off. Who's in doubt for this week against the Saints. Dockers are Caleb Sarong, Andy Brayshaw, Michael Frederick. Some of the players that were really good for the Dockers. A lot of good contributors for them. Lions, Charlie Cameron kicked 4. Zach Baylor kicked 4 and had 20-odd possessions. Was pretty good as well. They would be the guys I'd say were the best for the Lions. They need to regroup against the Saints on Saturday night. Now, let's go through my AFL Team of the Week. Why am I speaking like that? Because I can. My round 12 AFL Team of the Week. From the back line first, Connor Butterick and Bailey Dale. Full back, Tom Barras. Half back line, Daniel Rich, because he's a rich boy. He was also great for the Lions on the weekend, by the way. And Nick Dacos. Centre back, Paddy McCartan. Two times he's featured this year. The wingers, Caleb Sarong and Matty Rowell. Centreman, Toik Miller. Half forward line, flankers, Tex Walker and Michael Frederick. Centre forward, Sam Reid. Not Ben Reid, Channel 7. God. Forward pockets, Bailey Banfield and Zach Bailey. Full forward, Jeremy Cameron. Ruckman, Max Gorn. Rovers, Rory Laird and Andy Brayshaw. Interchange, Caleb Daniel, Logan McDonald, Darcy Cameron and Callum Mills. Emergencies, Mitchell Lewis, Will Powell, Andrew Gaff and Mitch Duncan. Now, reasons for some of these guys in the side. Connor Butterick had 25 possessions as a small lockdown defender, automatic lock. Tom Barras had about 18 possessions, 10 marks, about 15 intercept possessions and 1 percenters, so he deserves a spot for sure. Bailey Dale kicked a goal on 31 off the half-back line. The Bulldogs, Daniel Rich, because he's a rich boy, and he had to kick the goal on 32-odd possessions off the half-back line for the Lions, and kicking, I think, around 900 metres gained, if I'm not mistaken. Paddy McCartan was one of the best defenders in the round for the Swans. Nick Dacos had 36. What do I say? Absolute young gun. Rising star contender with Nick Martin and Jai Newcomb. Wingers, Caleb Sarong, Matty Rowell. I know Matty Rowell's not a winger, but there's a lot of inside mids, and I had to put someone there, and there wasn't many dominant wingmen, so Matty Rowell's there. Kicked a goal, had a lot of contested possessions. Matty Rowell deserved a spot on the side. Toik Miller was awesome, having over 30. Kicked a goal. Awesome. Caleb Sarong kicked a goal with 31 touches. He deserves a spot on the side. Go look at his stats if you don't think he was awesome. Tex Walker kicked 3 and 22 odd possessions. Was awesome. Michael Frederick kicked 3 and 18. He's having a great patch of form. The fringe player at the Dockers is cementing a spot right now. Sam Reid was awesome. Was the game changer for the Swans. Got him back in the contest, kicking straight in the second quarter. Kicked the goal late in the first. Kicked the goal in the second quarter and was influential throughout the whole game, particularly the first half when they were coming back. Zach Bailey kicked 4 and 22. Bailey Banfield kicked 4 and had around 20 touches as well. Jeremy Cameron was awesome, kicked 6 in that 18 possessions. The game changer, as I said earlier, for Geelong. Max Gawn was the best ruckman around by a country mile, kicked 3, he had 28 possessions, 26 sided hitouts, was awesome, and the only reason Melbourne were in the contest. Rory Laird kicked a goal, had 39 on possession, was the best player, or one of the best on the ground for the Crows. Andy Brayshaw had 39, a lot of contested possessions, was good with his ball use, clearly the next best mid. Interchange, Caleb Daniel, Logan McDonald, Darcy Cameron, Cal Mills. Cal Mills had a goal in 26, was pretty good. Darcy Cameron kicked a goal at 26 odd possessions. The ruckman was awesome. Logan McDonald kicked 3 in about 16, was awesome. Caleb Daniel didn't kick a goal, but he had 30 odd possessions off the halfback. It was the next halfback guy to join the team. And the Mitchell Lewis kicked 4. No, Steve Will Powell had a good job in the back half. And Andrew Gaff, probably the next best wingman, but I didn't want to put him in over Real. I didn't see that was fair. Or even over Callum Mills. And Mitch Duncan. So many names are the same here. Mitch Duncan was the best player for Geelong outside of Cameron, but couldn't fit him in the halfback line ahead of Dacos and Rich because he's a rich boy. And Caleb Daniel was the next option there. So that is my round 12 AFL team of the week. Only 6 games. So, yeah. Now we'll preview round 13. The next topic we'll go through is previewing round 13 now. Starts on Thursday night. It's great to have Thursday night games back. And it'll be at the MCG, 7:20 Victorian time, Richmond hosting the Power. I'm going to go for... the Power starting to come on a roll. I'm going to go for the Power to flick on the switch, or flick off the switch at the G. In a close game, Richmond should be getting Noah Bolter and Kane Lambert back, says Damien Hardwick today, and Tom Lynch will not play against the Power. On Friday night at the MCG also, Essendon hosting Carlton, 7:50 Victorian time. Carlton will win pretty comfortably. Now the next game to go through for discussion on Saturday, twilight at Optus Stadium, 4:10 time in Victoria. The Dockers hosting the Hawks. Danger for the Dockers. I'm just saying, I think the Dockers should win and win by about 4 goals. But don't be surprised at the Hawks. They've been pulling upsets this year, the Hawks. Brisbane and Geelong, as I said earlier. And then they've lost games they probably should have won. And had a lead against some sides and coughed it up. So I'm going for the Dockers, but I'm not going to be shocked if Hawthorn, we put it that way. Oh, here we go. The clash of 2 top sides. The Saints and the Lions at the Gabba. 7:25 Victorian time. Lions v Saints. This will be the game of the round for sure. I'm going for my Saints, obviously. Brisbane had a disappointing loss, I would say, against the Dockers in Perth. Having a solid first half and then having a terrible third quarter. No, I'm going for the Saints. Obviously, Maxi King will have a tough task on Marcus Adams or Harris Andrews. Hopefully Hunter Clark and Jack Higgins will return for the Saints. Hopefully Jaron Geary. Jared Leonard, what? Tom Imel, what? Yeah, hopefully those guys are back in the mix as well. They should be in the side. Jared Leonard, Tom Imel. And Hunter Clark and Jack Higgins should come in too. So I'm going for the Saints. Who obviously the Lions have Darcy Gardner in doubt. Sole Sunday game at Marvel Stadium. Sunday, 3:20. Roos hosting GWS. GWS will win and win comfortably. And the final game on Queen's birthday next Monday at the MCG, also 3:20 Victorian time. Pies hosting Melbourne. Lost 2 in a row. The Demons, the Pies have won a few in a row. Beat the Dockers. They beat the Hawks. I'm going to go for Melbourne, but Stephen May will be back. I am going to tip Melbourne. Again, like Hawthorn and Freo, do not write off the Pies to Goey, Lipinski, Darcy Cameron, Darcy Moore. Jamie Elliott will be back, you would think, from illness, who was a late change yesterday. So, going for Melbourne to win, but don't be surprised there. The teams that have the bye are the Crows, the Cats, the Swans, the Eagles, the Suns, and the Bulldogs. Let me know your thoughts and tips for round 13 down below. Now, the next topic I want to go through is my Supercoach talk. So, let's have a look. Supercoach talk. This round, I had 17 players. I didn't have the full 18 that you could have. Not top 22 is irrelevant. It's the top 18 for the bye rounds. I made 3 trades. I didn't want to make any. I did say, do not make any. I know, but things changed, and I thought, I've got to balance it out. I would probably have 20 players available for round 2 of the buys. In round 3 of the buys, I'd have 18. So I thought, well, you only need 18, so take 2 out of the middle rounds and put them into the first round. And I ended up having 17. And scored 1,778, which is pretty good. I've dropped from the top 5% to the top 6%. It's okay. The buy rounds, crap like that will happen. I had 17. At the moment, I think I got 19. But a few of those players are in doubt. Cooper Hamilton and Ned Long, we don't know. So we'll bump them back to 17. I don't want to make a second trade. I've made one this week, taking out Bailey Smith and brought in someone that does not have the buy next week. And I brought in, who did I bring in? Let's have an absolute blank, guys. That's right, Patrick Cripps. Probably not my ideal choice, but he doesn't have the buy, and someone you could stick with for the rest of the season. So I'm starting to not want to do trades, but trying to balance this out. Normally in years gone past, I made no trades for the first week of the buy round. That was the plan, and I've gone a new strategy to keep my top 5% ranking, and that is be conservative. And hope, God, there's no more injuries. Bailey Smith, I just brought in this week and I'm taking him back out. Oh, God. So, yeah, I don't plan to do any more trades. So, that's the only trade I've done. Bailey Smith out, Paddy Cripps in. So you can see on the screen below who I have in my team. In general, I have Sicily, Hewitt, Jack. Read full names, Coop. If you listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I'll read them out for you. And on YouTube, you can hear it regardless. James Sicily, George Stewart, Jack Sinclair, Jack Crisp, Jaden Short and Tom Stewart. Bench of Weir and Skinner. All going well. Midfield on ground, Clayton Oliver, Lockie Neal, Rory Laird, Jackson McRae, Patrick Cripps, Andy Brayshaw, Toik Miller and Greg Clark. And bench normally is Jack Carroll, Mitch Owens and Brady Hoff. Ruckman, Riley O'Brien and Braden Bruce. Interchange is now Brian Teckle. Mid-season draft E for the power young ruck at 20 years of age, which is a loophole option for Sam Hayes did on the weekend. In terms of Supercoach. Forward line, Will Brodie, Jade Gresham, Steve Canello, Pat Lipinski, Adam Treloar, and Isaac Heaney. The bench in a normal world is Ned Long and Cooper Hamilton. Leave your thoughts down below of my team. That's a solid team. I want to keep it, but injuries and everything and suspensions keep stuffing me around. Tried to bring in Tim English, did not have enough. So that's why I got Bailey Smith in the end, and now he's come back to bite me in the ass. So yeah, top 6%, 17 plays this week just gone. Hoping to have 19, realistically probably 17 again. So I don't want to do trades. I don't want to keep wasting trades just to have 18. I scored pretty well at 17, scoring 1,778, 1,778, top 6% now. If it means I stagnate, that's in the buy rounds, that is, I'll cop it. I'll cop it for now, because in the long term, I want to keep the team going. Now, let's go through the Scoops medal. The heavily debated Scoops medal, which I'm going to stop after next week of the after the third week of the buy rounds. The Scoops medal will stop on the podcast from a weekly point of view. I'll have a big Scoops medal extravaganza at the end of the season during the buy rounds. I've said that in previous weeks, and that is what I will do. Round 12, Western Bulldogs, and I'll reenact it like Gillan McLaughlin. Had to say that. Round 12, Western Bulldogs v Geelong. Western Bulldogs, Jay McRae, 1 vote. Western Bulldogs, B Dale, 2 votes. Geelong, Jay Cameron, 3 votes. Adelaide v West Coast, Adelaide, B Keys, 1 vote. Adelaide, R Laird, 2 votes. Adelaide, T Walker, 3 votes. Gold Coast v North Melbourne, Gold Coast, W Powell, 1 vote. Gold Coast, M Rao, 2 votes. Gold Coast, T Miller, 3 votes. Melbourne v Sydney. Sydney, Al McDonald, 1 vote. Sydney, S Reid, 2 votes. Melbourne, M Gorn, 3 votes. Hawthorn v Collingwood. Collingwood, P Lipinski, 1 vote. Collingwood, N Dacos, 2 votes. Collingwood, D Cameron, 3 votes. Fremantle v Brisbane. Brisbane, D Rich, 1 vote. Fremantle, C Sarong, 2 votes. Fremantle, A Brayshaw, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 12, it is heading up. In third place on 14 votes, we have the Gold Coast Suns co-captaining Toik Miller. 15 votes equals second is Paddy Cripps and Lockie Neal. And now the new outright leader on 16 votes to popping a vote this week is the Western Bulldogs superstar, the former winner of the Scoops medal, finals edition and home and away season, Jackson Macrae. Now, I could say very well and honestly, there's some players on 13, a lot on 12, 11, 10. It is heating up in the Scoops medal. The medal is not an obvious clear winner so far, or contender so far. The 4 names you can see on screen, and plenty of names in the mix between 13 votes and 10 are all in the mix still. And there is a bucket load of names between 13 votes and 10. It is heating up in the Scoops medal, and I can't wait to reveal the winner. Will it be back to back to back? Will it be Jackson Macrae, or will it be Cripps, Neil, Miller, and players underneath, which I'm not going to say who they are. And trust me when I say it is heating up in the Scoops medal. Now, the next topic we're going to go through is my rolling all Australian team, which you all love. Now, from the back line, we have Cal Wilkie in the pockets. Cal Wilkie and Tom Stewart. Fullback, Sam Taylor. Wingers, half-back flankers, Jack Sinclair and James Sissetley. Stephen Mason, half-back. Wingers, Josh Kelly and Jack Macrae. Centerman, Lockie Neal. Half-forward line, flankers, Charlie Curnow and Paddy Cripps. Centre forward, Jeremy Cameron. Forward pockets, Charlie Cameron and Zach Bailey. And the full forward, the man they call Winks, Max King. All hail the King. Ruckman, Jared Witts. Rovers, Clayton Holloway and Andy Brayshaw. Interchange, Will Brody, Ben Keys, George Short and Rory Laird. That means the changes after round 11 is nothing. No change to the round 11 team. My rolling All-Australian team is unchanged from the previous round. Let me know your thoughts down below. There's probably one player that is in contention of possibly falling out, and that is Patrick Cripps, believe it or not. Yes, I know he's second in my Scoops medal votes, but just because you have a dominant, say, 5 games and then quiet 6, hypothetically, doesn't mean you warrant an All-Australian selection, but we'll wait and see. That is my rolling All-Australian. Leave your thoughts down below. Now, my final thoughts are simply 3 things. First, you want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/CooperG. Merch, there's stickers, stubby holders, stickers, hats, hoodies. The list goes on and on. Stubby holders, the whole on the t-shirts. Go and get yours today. Would greatly appreciate it. My other final thoughts are this. The mid-season draft was last Wednesday night. Jai Cully went to the Eagles at pick 1. Callan Dawson went to the Roos at pick 2. And yeah, the pick at the mid-season draft, though, for me, was, I think it was pick 9. It was the pick of the Pies. And that was Josh Carmichael from the Samful. First full year in the Samful. It wasn't even a full year. It was half a season. 10 games or so. The clear standard for me, the Pies. I'm sure he'll get a game this year for the Pies. An inside mid, a bull. I think he was averaging 27 possessions, kicking goals every week. Won't you love? That's the type of player I would be recruiting if I was a list manager. And that is mid forwards. Players that can push in the midfield. They play forward or vice versa. And Josh Carmichael fits that bill. The Pies did awesome. Essendon, to their credit, they did pretty solid with theirs. Menzies is small forward. And the name Massimino Ambrosio. Hard to pronounce. Massimino. He was picked up at Essendon. I did get a message from him saying that he appreciates my support. And I wish him all the best at the Bombers. Now, appreciate you all, guys. Until next Tuesday night. Remember Tuesday night because there's a game on Queen's birthday next Monday between Melbourne and Collingwood. So I'll be back with this podcast next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Until then, wow, one more thing. Reminder, Nick Gieschen, the AFL player manager from Connor Sports Management. We talk about Pat Lipinski, his client Dan McStay, Alex Witherden, whether he wants a mid-season trade. But you heard it off the top. That will be on tomorrow night. It's a must-see edition. My first ever interview with a player manager. It is an awesome chat with Nick. I appreciate him coming on. We talk about Dan McStay, whether he's staying, no pun intended, or going, or whether he's content. You're going to go see that clip tomorrow night. Appreciate you all. Until then, have a great one, everyone. The most important thing of all to remember is go to the Saints, and of course, and then absolutely, that is, acknowledge me and go the Saints.
Tony, look at me. I want you to fire me. You fucking Mark, fire me.